As a group, we decided to focus on the topic of gender-based toys and the toy choice depended on age groups. We also looked at the implication of what makes a girl toy and what makes a boy toy in relation to human society and stereotypes.
Our target audience was very broad because we wanted our documentary to appeal to a wide range of variables such as class, age, gender, ethnicity. Because we believe that everyone can have kids and we didn't want to focus on a particular age or race because that will narrow our target audience.
In our conventions, we used a young mixed-race female for our presenter compared to the stereotypical white male shown in Panorama. We used the presenter and developed it by using a female instead of a male. In our interviews as well, we used a two-shot instead of always using a headshot, so we had a mixture of both shots. We used a conventional style of font as shown in pre-teen proms.
The draft one was, we took the image from the internet and it was very plain, and the picture didn't really relate to our documentary and what we were trying to promote. The logo was too big for a channel, following the Channel 4 guideline is too big.
Yeah.
So we have to make that smaller. And the slogan, Barbie Girl vs Action Man, didn't capture what the documentary is about.
Our draft 2, the image was really good because it was sharp focus on the girl, but because we got the image from the internet, it wasn't really our own one. The logo placing was not how it's on the Channel 4 guidelines. It should be in the centre.
Yeah, it should be slightly out.
Yeah. And the slogan of the newspaper ad didn't really relate. It didn't tell us anything about the documentary, but we kept the layout of Channel 4.
Okay, draft 3 was our final draft, and we used the Channel 4 layout, so like the slogan, the name of the programme and the logo. The logo was the correct size and it was placed in the right place. We developed it by taking our own images, as our last 2 drafts were images taken from the internet. And we challenged by using a conventional style of font similar to Channel 4's. Obviously, because we couldn't download the font, we had to try and get one as close to it as possible.
The draft 1 of our double page spread, there was no main image, there was just lots of small images. There wasn't a clear and concise layout, which was all over the place. The Channel 4 logo didn't actually need to be there. It looked more like a newspaper advertisement than an actual double page spread. And there was no page number or where what magazine it's from.
Our draft 2 was not as good either. The image again wasn't our own image, so we took it from the internet. And again, the layout wasn't clear and concise. And we didn't need the logo to be there, but the font was clear. And we had pull-out quotes, which were good. Yeah. But the images were all the same size, so there wasn't one to focus on. And the title was childlike, so that linked in well. But again, there was no page numbers or logo or what magazine it's meant to be in.
For our draft 3, we made sure that we had page numbers, where the image was from, and a logo from the magazine. The title is quite childlike, so it relates well with the documentary. We used the layout from Radio Times, and we developed it by using one main image and then a small one and a medium-sized one. And we challenged it by using a conventional style of font which suits the imagery shown, for example our title. on our heading. We had a pull-out quote. The text is organised, so you can tell it's a double-page spread as like you can see the alignment. And yeah,
So we did it.
yeah. Okay. The combination of our main product and ancillary texts, they relate well as our documentary is quite a serious documentary. Therefore, by using Channel 4, they usually coincide with serious documentaries as well. So we use the layout for like the newspaper advertisement. For example, here's our newspaper advertisement, and we used the style guide for Channel 4. And it says to have the logo on the right hand side, to have a slogan, just one main image that like would relate to our episodes or our series, and then like the name and when it will start. And yeah, but improvement wise,
things that need to be improved is that we thought that if we had more time, we'd have different newspaper ads for each episode so that we can introduce each one separately and inform the audience of what will be included in it.
yeah, because every episode it's still related to like toys and gender, but we focused on different things for each episode. So yeah, if we had more time, we would have been able to.
By using a child image, we related to our target audience, which is parents. So by involving a child in it, it also relates to our documentary. And in our double-page spread, there's an image of a child confused of which toy to pick, which is relates to our documentary because that is the whole thing of our documentary. What toy should I choose?
Yeah, the connotations of the image, as she is holding two toys, and yeah, the connotations would be like what toy to play with is exactly what our documentary is basically about. Like we research into gender-based toys, and yeah.
And the text is very playful, which also relates to children.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Also, our audience of Channel 4, they'd expect the type of seriousness as well. So like, as we decided to do our double-page spread in Radio Times, we copied the layout, but and also added our own little things. Like we had a little pull-out quote, we had the page numbers, where the image came from, logo, and stuff like that. And then also in our newspaper advertisement, we use the Evening Standard because they tend to have Channel 4 advertisements in it. So yeah. Our Channel 4 images for their newspaper advertisement, they tend to be very plain and simple. So like basic like typography and graphology and that. And
don't even have a white or black background for the text, so the text stands out.
Yeah, and the logo has to be, I think it's 10mm by 4mm. It has to be a certain size anyway. So yeah, we made sure that ours was exactly the same.
Yeah, we fitted the Channel 4 guidelines, so it made our media product look more realistic.
And more effective as well.
From birth, new parents. Our target audience were asked to view our first draft. Here is their feedback.
You, like Marley.
For me, what went well was the whole documentary itself. Like, I thought it was really educational and I actually learned something. The way that you incorporated like the interview with the actual documentary, so you showed like clips of the interview, then you went into the documentary. I thought that was really, really good.
Well, I thought the music was really good. It really, coincided with what the documentary was about. It kept me intrigued. However, on the negative side, it did just cut off. It didn't fade out or anything like that. It just cut off and then it went more quiet. So I thought that was a bit awkward. Also, I like the interviewing of the little children and the images of that. It really showed me what it was about.
Okay, I thought overall the piece was really good. The main section I thought could have been improved was the opening sequence, because I wasn't sure what that was about in relation to the clips. But the rest of it all flowed very well. All the clips of people's comments all linked in together. And I think the cutaway shots of the children playing was also good, and it was edited quite well, and I think it was narrated well as well and quite clear.
Like organised, like it's more clear for the audience and be able to take them like through how the whole documentary is running and that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with her. It just makes it more clearer, more concise, and basically there's like the guidelines, so what she's saying basically it helps us. If I'm just watching the documentary straight, I'm not really knowing what parts are jumping around, but with the presenter there, it's more clearer, so yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it works quite well with the documentary actually, because even though the documentary is quite serious, it kind of lightens the tone of the documentary, so it makes you want to watch more. And I think me watching the documentary myself, I was kind of moving with the music, so it was quite fun. Yeah, and it just adds the child element to the documentary, which kind of goes with the concept.
Yeah, it brings out like more upbeat and yeah, like what should I agree with?
No, yeah, but in our audience feedback, taken into consideration, they addressed our music and said it was limited. So we addressed that issue by using 2 types of music to make it less boring and more entertaining to watch. They also said that no presenter was very confusing and was very ineffective. So we decided to take on that and address it, and we put in a presenter in our final draft. So in our final draft we have a presenter where we believe now builds a rapport and is less confusing for our audience.
From the feedback we got from our target audience, we learned that the choice of angles we had were quite limited in both drafts. We tried to put a bit more, more range of angles in draft 2, but then it was still not enough, so we put in some more for our final draft. They also said that the beginning part was a little bit confusing, because they didn't understand what the topic was about from the beginning, so we had to put in more information at the beginning of what our topic's about.
Looking back at our audience feedback, there were raised views that there weren't enough facts and only opinions from the public. Therefore, in our final draft, we balanced out facts and opinions, so ensured there was an equal amount of both facts and opinions to give an unbiased view. Also, we found out that our interviewer's voice was too low, so whilst interviewing Lindsay Rayner, our sociologist, instead of having her talking, because her voice was very low, we extracted the audio and had a voiceover instead to make it more understandable to the audience. Research and planning, we looked at channel 40D for documentaries. As shown, there is a wide variety of differing documentaries. We also looked at BBC iPlayer for documentaries. We found there to be a lot of less serious documentaries, which is why we chose channel 4. As a way to keep organised, we made posts on Blogger. This is how you embed a video. Create a new post and make sure it is on Edit HTML. Choose a video from YouTube, scroll down, click embed and copy the HTML code, paste into Blogger and publish. This is how you embed an image. Click picture and choose a file. Press open and select file. Publish post and then view it. To convert YouTube to MP4, we used KeepVid. Go to YouTube, choose a video and copy the URL. Paste here and convert.
For the research and planning, we looked at Channel 4 newspaper advertisements. Here are a few that we found. Channel 4 tend to stay very plain and simple with their slogan, logo, and name of documentary. Evening Standard will be where we will place our newspaper advertisement under Life and Style. Radio Times looks at many channels, one of which is Channel 4. This is where our double page spread will be placed. For InDesign, press Start and InDesign. Create a new document. Click off Facing Pages, Landscape, and make sure it's A4. File, Place, and choose an image. Press Open and place the image. Cut and crop so that the image fits the page. Now it's time to add the text, the logo, and the other things. For our double page spread, create a new document and change it to A3, landscape, and turn off facing pages. Draw a line down the middle of the screen so that you know where the double page spread will end. Put in the logo, text, and move it to where you want it to be placed. Add in significant Channel 4 to represent the Channel 4 logo. Place your title and text and images. Place, image, it's complete. Here is an example of our double page spread thumbnail. And here is an example of our newspaper advertisement thumbnail.
What do you think about gender-based toys? Do you feel it's alright to give a girl pink and a boy blue?
Yeah.
I got a Tinkerbell DVD, a Tinkerbell phone, and I got a Tinkerbell DVD.
Do you like pink or do you like blue?
I like pink, no pink. No blue. No pink. Blue. No pink. Blue. No pink. Blue. No pink.
Show your toy. Okay, that's just useless.